Hello, welcome to Kirsty's Pilates online for the first time ever. So this is the first time I've done this, so please bear with me. It might be absolutely useless, but hopefully I won't be. I'm just going to do a very, very basic routine with all the exercises that you know very well with no equipment at all. I've just got my mat, so you can, if you've got a mat, you can use it. If not, you can just do it on the floor. I've also just got a block for the chest opener, but you can use a pillow, obviously. If you've got weights, you can use those, but for now I'm just doing it very, very basic, just so that everybody can do it, even if they've got nothing extra. So I don't know how long it's going to be, because obviously there's nobody chatting. You know who you are, the people that chat in my classes. It'll just be me, and hopefully we'll get through this and you'll be able to do something and feel a little bit better. So I will crack on with it and we'll see how we go. So it's just a very, very basic routine, all lying. There's no standing up at all, so I'm down on the floor. So, here we go. Okay, so you're lying down with your feet hip distance apart and your knees are nice and parallel. Your pelvis is nice and flat and neutral, ribs relaxed, shoulders relaxed, your arms are relaxed, and your neck is nice and long. Pelvic floor is lifted up nice and tight. I'm sure you haven't forgotten that. And your tummy is squeezed in nice and tight. Breathing nice and deeply, you're breathing in through your nose and you're blowing out through your mouth. Nice and deep and wide, you're feeling your lungs expanding into the sides of your ribs. So starting off then, nice and gently with your head, just turning your head from one side to the other. Nice and smoothly. Nothing complicated. Marvellous. So coming back to the middle, so you're going to float your arms up towards the ceiling, palms are facing inwards, you're going to do your shoulders. So breathing in to prepare, as you breathe out, reaching up, shoulders lifting off the floor, as you breathe in, your shoulders settling back down onto the floor. So you're breathing out to reach, breathing in to settle them back down, shoulder blades settling down nice and flat underneath your ribs, just getting your shoulders moving. Wonderful. So then, I'm going to turn your palms to face forward. I'm going to do rib cage arms, so rib cage closure. So you're going to breathe in. As you breathe out, arms going behind you towards the floor. They don't have to go all the way to the floor, but you're keeping your ribs down. Breathing in as they come back up towards the ceiling. So as they're going behind you, ribs staying down. The distance between the top of your hips and the bottom of your ribs is staying the same all the time. You're not allowing your back to arch, you're not allowing your ribs to lift up. You're keeping your tummy squeezed in, of course. Nice and easy and gentle. Easy peasy. So then, either relax your arms down into the floor if you want to, easy option. Keep them up if you want to. Add in various arms if you wish to. I'm going to just do the basic one. I'm going to keep my arms on the floor. So single leg slide. So you're going to breathe in. As you breathe out, sliding one foot away. As you breathe in, you're sliding it back. A nice slippy mat. As you breathe out, you're sliding the other foot away. As you breathe in, you're sliding it back. Pelvis is staying nice and flat and neutral, not letting it tilt at all, because you're keeping your tummy squeezed in and your pelvic floor lifted, obviously. Nice and smooth and controlled. So then you're going to do your double leg slide. You're going to breathe in. As you breathe out, sliding both feet away. And as you breathe in, you're sliding them both back. A little bit harder. So obviously if you wanted to add in arms, you could just have your arms up if you wanted to, or you could be adding in your rib cage arms, keeping your tummy squeezed in. As you do that, that's easy. Lovely. Okay, so back to nice neutral position, feet hip distance, knees parallel, pelvic floor and tummy, shoulders relaxed. You're going to do a single knee fold, breathing in as you breathe out, lifting up one knee, breathing in as you breathe out, you're relaxing it back down, and then the other one. So, I've nagged you over and over again for this. Knee is above your hip, shin is parallel to the floor, you've got a nice right angle behind your knee. The hinging is from your hip, not from your knee. You've got an orange behind your knee. That's your singles, nice and easy. Doubles, squeeze the tummy in, breathe in as you breathe out, lift up one. Squeeze the tummy in as you breathe out, lift up the second one. Nice deep breath. Breathe in to put the first one down. Breathe in and breathe out to put the second one down. So again, you could, of course, do this with your arms up if you wanted to. Not much harder, a little bit. So, one foot's going up, the other foot's going up. One foot's going down, the other foot's going down. Lovely. Tummy squeezed in. Tap down as we could be doing. One foot's going up as the other one's going down. You need to squeeze the tummy in a little bit harder. Keep the movement coming from your hip. Make sure that you're not doing that, not your knees. Hinging not from your knees, hinging from your hip. Tapping down. Keeping your lovely right angle behind your knee. Beautiful. If you're feeling particularly clever, double tap downs. Ooh. A bit harder, hinging from the knee, squeezing the tummy in. I'm not going to do loads of those, that's not good for my back. Marvellous. Okay. So, feet and knees together, you're going to do a single hip drop. You can have your arms out a little bit if you want to, you can have them up, you can add in various arm movements if you want to. I'm just going to do a basic one. So, breathing in as you breathe out, one knee's going out to the side, the other knee staying straight up towards the ceiling. Breathe in, breathe out as it comes back to the middle, and then the other side. So, you're not allowing your pelvis to move, your hip bones are pinned to the floor, the other knee straight up towards the ceiling, not moving at all. Tummy squeezed in, pelvic floor's lifted, nice and smooth and controlled. Nothing to it, easy peasy. So then you've got your double, where it's useful to have your arms out. Double squeeze the tummy in, both knees going over to the side. Breathe in as you breathe out, coming back to the middle. So breathing in to prepare as you breathe out, both knees going over, your hips are moving, your pelvis is moving, but your ribs and the top of your spine staying nice and flat on the floor. Use the breathing to help you. So breathing out as you move, breathing in to hold, breathing out as you move. Nice and easy. Nothing to it. Ribs, shoulder blades, and shoulders nice and flat and heavy on the floor. Beautiful. So then you can, you've got your options here. You can do a single knee fold, a single hip drop at the top, back to the middle and down. Single, keeping the knee still, back to the middle and down. That's the easier option. Or you can do a double knee fold and a single hip drop at the top, shoulders are relaxed. Breathing nice and deeply. Or the harder one, double knee fold and a double hip drop at the top, keeping the ribs and the shoulders nice and flat and heavy on the floor, of course. Hips can move. Up to you which one you want to do. I'm doing quite well here, I can't really do these. Tummy's nice and tight. Squeezing, lifting up the pelvic floor. If you're clever, you could do both legs, of course. A bit harder. Making sure that your tummy's squeezed in. Ooh, and you're breathing. You forgot to breathe. Okay, lovely. And then when you're done, relax your feet back down one at a time. Okay. So, moving on. Let's do a single leg. What's it called? Single leg raise. Forgot what it's called. Okay. Feet hip distance apart, knees parallel, pelvis nice and flat, ribs and shoulders relaxed. Pelvic floor's lifted and your tummy squeezed in. Easy option. One foot on the floor. The other foot is straight out. I'm going to walk over. So, easy peasy, lifting and lowering that one leg. Keep it as low down to the floor as you want. If you do it higher, it will just be a bit easier, so keep it lower down to make it harder. That's your easier option. The harder option, which, as you know, I haven't got a great back at the moment, is not very easy for me. I will just try it. I'm not going to do many. So the harder option is the other foot is lifted. Really need to squeeze the tummy in. Oh, yes, that starts to make my back crack, so I'm not going to do loads of those. That's the harder one. So you can do as many of those as you like, lifting and lowering, squeezing the tummy in. Easy one, foot on the floor. Harder one, foot is lifted, and then obviously swap legs. I haven't done. top legs, other side. Breathing, tummy, pelvic floor, all the exciting things that we know so well. Shall I try this one and this one? Yes, I'll do a few. When I do this, my back crunches, so it's probably not brilliant for me. Lovely. Okay. Enough of the silliness, time to get on with the complicated stuff. Hold on a minute, I'm just going to have a drink of water. And then, yes, everybody's favourite, 100, hooray! So, feet hip distance apart, knees parallel, pelvis nice and flat and neutral, ribs relaxed, shoulders relaxed, pelvic floors lifted up nice and tight, tummy is squeezed in. You're going to breathe in as you breathe out, you've got your double knee fold. So you can keep your knees bent if you want to in that position, you can straighten your legs, you can lower them down, of course, make it harder. I'm going to stick to straight and to bent legs at the moment. Knees above your hips, arms nice and straight. 5 beats to breathe in and 5 beats to breathe out. You love it, you know you do. So, tummy squeezed in. Of course I can't count and talk at the same time as we know, so I've no idea how many I'll do. As long as you are lifting up your pelvic floor, squeezing in your tummy, breathing nice and deeply, arms also nice and straight, no flappy hands like that, that's cheating. Keep the arms nice and straight. Straighten the legs if you want to. You could lower one leg down a little bit to make it a little bit harder, but not too hard. And the other one, squeezing the tummy in. If you want to do 300, you can pause it and do 300, because I'm sure I'm not doing 300 here. Anyway, entirely up to you how many you want to do, as long as your tummy's squeezed in. Also, of course, you're keeping your pelvis in its nice neutral position. You're not letting it tilt, you're not letting your back arch. You're keeping your tummy squeezed in. When you've done enough of those, relax your feet back down one at a time. Beautiful. How are we feeling? Good, excellent. Okay. So it is going to be my favourite, the single leg stretch. Pelvic floor's lifted, tummy squeezed in, you're in your lovely neutral position, you've got your double knee fold, and breathing out as your foot goes away. So if you want an easier option, of course, legs going higher up towards the ceiling, a little bit easier. Harder option, legs going further away towards the floor. Easier option, your hands are on your knee. Harder option, add in an arm. So one arm can go behind you. Breathing out as you take it away. Feet down nice and low. If you want to make it even harder, 2 arms going behind you. Tummy squeezed in. Even harder, the one that I always forget. Arms across your, how much it is? Arms across your chest, sideways. If you're doing this one, try to make sure that you're keeping your pelvis nice and still, that's not twisting, you're just twisting from the waist. As you do that, you could slow it down to make it even harder. But if you want to stick to the easy ones, just hands on the knee. For the easy one, I'm going to do this one. Ribs are down as you take your arms behind you. Breathing nice and deeply, you haven't forgotten to breathe, hopefully. Keeping the tummy squeezed in. And the pelvic floor lifted. Obviously stop whenever you've had enough and have a little rest and pretending that you're having a chat. Wonderful. Okay. That may be enough. When you're finished, relax your feet back down one at a time. Good. Take a break whenever you need to. I'm going to crack on with it. A double leg stretch. Feet, knees, pelvis, everything in the right place. Pelvic floor's lifted, tummy squeezed in. You've got your double knee fold. Feet together, knees apart, hands are on your knees. Breathing in as everything goes out. Breathing out as it comes back round. So as you breathe in, legs going up. If you want to make it easier, of course your legs can go higher up towards the ceiling. If you want to make it harder, your legs going further away towards the floor. I'm not going to do it too hard because of my back. So I'm going to keep it quite high. Tummy squeezed in. Your ribs are staying down as you're taking your arms behind you. You're not letting your back arch. You're not letting your pelvis tilt, it's staying in its lovely neutral position. Again, you could slow it down. I'm not sure if I mentioned that with the last one. Of course, you can slow it down to make it harder. Slow it down, a little bit harder. Keeping it all squeezed in. Breathing, of course. Breathing is my way around then. Breathing in as you take everything out. breathing out as it comes back around. Marvellous. Full leg stretch, we could go on with this for hours, couldn't we? If we wanted to. But we won't. Okay. So, next one. Shoulder bridge. So, feet can be a little bit closer into your bottom. Your feet are hip distance apart and your knees are parallel. Unless you're feeling particularly clever, you can do your feet together. But if you want to take your feet together, make sure that your knees stay together as well. So we don't want that. And if your feet are apart, your knees are apart as well. So everything's nice and parallel. I'm going to do the long one. Tailbone's nice and flat and heavy. Breathing in as you breathe out. Peeling up your tailbone and curling up the spine, one vertebra at a time, nice and smoothly, until you're in a nice straight line from your knees down to your chest. Deep breath in at the top, keeping tummy tight. As you breathe out, relaxing your spine back down, ribs, then the small of your back, then your pelvis all the way down to your tailbone. So you're breathing in to prepare, you're breathing out as you peel up, one vertebra at a time. Nice deep breath at the top, breathing out as you curl back down. Lovely. So, hips and knees are staying nice and still and steady, they're not wobbling. And if they are wobbling, what do you think you need to do? Squeeze your tummy in a little bit more. Yay. Brownie points for anyone that knew that. So, you could, of course, add in your arms if you wanted to. Once you're at the top, as you breathe in, arms going behind you. Ribs are staying down as you come back down. Ribs staying down, arms going behind you. Watch the ribs at this point, that's when they want to lift up. Heeling back down, tummy squeezed in. So you're breathing out as your spine moves, you're breathing in as your arms move. Breathing out as you peel back down. Breathing in as they come back down. So you've also got your little leg pulls as well if you want to do that. So up at the top, you can do nice straightforward one, just lengthening away, keeping the pelvis still. And if you're feeling energetic, you could do up and down, side to side, and round in a circle if you wanted to. If you're doing those ones, try to make sure that your knee's still, not like mine was wobbling. You can always curl back down in between the legs if your back needs a little bit of a rest, and we'll try and do it on this side. So lifting and lowering, side to side, keep the knee still, round in a circle, with no wobbling of the other knee. Watch out for cramp, of course, with these. Don't have to do those, you could just do the normal ones, peeling up and curling back down. That's all there is to it. Oh, we could also do on your toes, some people's favourites, like that, watch out for cramp. And you could do on your heels as well. Lovely. When you have done enough of those, you can bring your knees into your chest and have a little stretch. And then we will change positions. How are we doing? An amazing time in your living room, hopefully. Okay. So, onto your side for a wonderful old favourite side bend. Elbow, bottom and feet are lined up against the back of the mat. And make sure that your elbow's not too far away, you want it quite close into your hips. You've got a beach ball underneath your armpit, so you're not sinking down into it, it's all lifted. Hips are stacked in a nice straight line, tummy squeezed in, pelvic floor's lifted. You're going to breathe in as you breathe out. You're lifting your hips, breathing in as you come back down. Breathing out as you lift, breathing in as you come back down. So, nice and straightforward, nice and easy. If you want to make it a little bit harder but not too hard, you can lift up and then nearly come back down, not quite touch the floor but come straight back up again. Hopefully you're not feeling too much stress in your shoulder. Tummy squeeze in. Shall I do the hard one, just for anybody that wants to do it? I won't be able to do it very well. Let's give it a quick go. So you can just keep going with that one, the easy one, or harder one you could do this one. Top foot is in front. You can do it on your elbow or you could do it on your hand as well. Lifting up into a nice big straight line. Well, I forgot to mention, when you're doing this one, watch that your hips are not rolling forwards, and if you see that your hips are rolling forwards, make sure that your feet are lined up at the back, because if your feet are there, that's when hips roll forward like that. Get your feet back, it's easier to keep them going straight up. If you're doing this one, hips don't tend to roll forward, they tend to roll backwards a little bit, so I can make sure that they're in a nice straight line. I'm not going to do the bouncy one, I'll save that for another time of excitement, just that one. Lovely, so I'm going to stay on this side and I'm going to lie down and do somebody's favourite, I'm sure, the oyster. So I'm just going to lean on my hand, you can use a pillow if you want to. Knees up nice and high, hips are stacked, tummy squeezed in, waist lifted. If you can keep that, some of you can. So you're lifting and lowering your knee, nice and easy. Shoulders relaxed, just relax on your arm. Tummy squeezed in, nice and easy. We love the oyster, don't we? Yes, we do. We do, we love the oyster. Okay, so that's the normal one. Then you've got the second one, feet are lifted, same thing. If you can manage to keep your waist lifted, then you're doing brilliantly. Whilst also keeping your shoulder relaxed, which is not so easy. So feet lifted, lifting, lowering the knee. Lovely. I'm just thinking which third one to do today. So let's do, I won't do the gruesome one, I'll do the other one. So we'll do knees together, feet apart, feet together, knees apart. Knees together, feet apart, feet together, knees apart. Waist lifted if you manage to do that at the start, try to keep it there. Tummy squeezed in, pelvic floor's lifted, you're still breathing, you're still smiling, hopefully. And we will get there. Is it hurting yet? One would hope so. Okay. Is that enough of that? By all means, pause it and do loads more if you really, really love them, as I'm sure some of you do. There we go, that's enough for me. So, I'm going to go on to the other side. And I'll do it all on the other side. Oops. I could be lazy and just let you stop it and repeat it on the other side, but I'm going to be good to do it on the other side, otherwise I'll be lopsided. Side bend, elbow, bottom, feet lined up against the back of the mat, hips stacked, what are they called? Ribs lifted, tummy squeezed in, pelvic floor lifted, breathing in, breathing out as you lift up. Lovely. No sinking down into your ribs, tummy squeezed in, hips are going straight up, you've got your string, pulling your hips straight up into a nice straight line. Have a rest if it's too much on your shoulder. Tummy squeezed in and you're breathing. It's all beautiful. Of course you've got the slightly harder one where you're not quite going down, but if you're going to do this one, make sure that you do go down. You just don't go down all the way, there's no good doing this. Very nice, but not moving your hips. Lovely. And then we did a few of the big ones, didn't we? So, front foot, top foot is in front, on your elbow or on your hand if your wrists are okay. Breathing in, breathing out as you lift up. Ooh, it's a bit harder on this side. And, ooh, lovely. One more, just to be clever. Excellent. Good. And you can have a little lie down to do the oyster. So, relax down on your shoulder, knees up nice and high, hips are stacked, tummy squeezed in, waist lifted. Nice straightforward normal one, knees lifting up, breathing, not too gruesome. Wonderful. Doesn't hurt yet. We'll do shortly. Again, you can do loads more if you want to. Don't have to do it this quick. I'm probably going through this really, really quickly as I'm not chatting to people, so I'm stopping to tell you stories. Just cracking on with it. So then, feet lifted, same thing, try to get the waist lifted if you can. If not all squeezed in. Breathing. Wonderful. We do like the oyster, don't we? Yay, we do. Okay, and then when you have finished those lovely ones, you have got knees together, feet apart, feet together, knees apart, knees together, feet apart, feet together, knees apart. You haven't forgotten to lift up your pelvic floor, I'm sure. you haven't forgotten that your tummy's squeezed in and you haven't forgotten to breathe. So you're already doing brilliantly. I think that will do for that. Lovely. Well done. Okay, where are we now? Excuse me. Okay. The rear deltoid squeeze. That'll be fun. So onto your front. Feet can be relaxed. You can turn your toes in and your heels out to relax your feet. Bottom's nice and relaxed. Hands are on your back. Shoulders and elbows nice and relaxed. So we're going to breathe in. Oh, tummy lifted, of course. And pelvic floor. Breathing in as you breathe out. Shoulders are rolling back, shoulder blades sliding down and together. Hands are reaching down, tummy squeezed in. You're lifting up, arms going down towards your feet, but you're keeping your tummy squeezed in and your chin tucked in as well. Breathing in as you relax everything back down. You've got the feet. Main thing, shoulders rolling back as you breathe out. Shoulder blades squeezing together. They're going down the back of your ribs, reaching down as you lift up. Feet can come together as well, but tummy, most importantly, is squeezed in. If you wanted an easier option, you could just do the arms and not lift the head up. Making sure that you're rolling the shoulders back, sliding the shoulder blades down the back of your ribs, but also keeping your tummy squeezed in. But obviously, the proper one is lifting up. Hopefully my neck's in a nice straight line, lifting up the chin. Bottom half nice and relaxed, not tensing up. Keep it all squeezed in. Lovely. That's your rear deltoid squeeze. Good. I'm not going to do loads of these. I'm going to do the easier option. So the harder option is your heel beats. Arms can be wherever you want to be. You can relax down on your hands if that's comfortable. You can have your arms down. Whatever you can do to try and relax your shoulders is good. Heels together, toes apart, tummy is lifted. I'm not going to do many of these just because of my back. So breathing in as you breathe out, lengthening away both your legs, feet, heels beating together. Try to keep the shoulders relaxed. Actually, mine aren't relaxed, so I'm going to do it this way. Only do a few and then relax back down. So shoulders relaxed is the hardest bit, we know. Tummy squeezed in, tummy's lifted, and lengthening away both your legs as you beat your heels together. Actually, it doesn't feel too bad. When you're doing it, you need to make sure that you're lengthening away both your legs. Your thighs are tightening up, so your knees lifting off the floor. If this one is too hard, just stick to the good old favourite swimming legs. One leg lengthening away, and then the other leg lengthening away. Much, much easier. If you're doing that, try to keep your pelvis nice and still. Don't let it tilt as you lift. It's lengthening away rather than lifting up high. So that's your slightly easier option if you don't want to do the heel beats. Wonderful. Not going to do too many of those. When you have finished that, have a stretch. Just sit back on my heels to have a stretch. Excellent. Must be an easy one next, mustn't it? You're really going to believe that? Yes, it is. It's an easy one next. Yay. Okay. It's a spine twist. So I'm going to sit with my legs crossed the wrong way round. So sitting with your legs crossed the wrong way round if you can. Use a block or sit on something if you want to. Sitting up nice and tall, you've got your string pulling your head up towards the ceiling, your shoulders are relaxed, your spine is nice and long, hands are in the middle of your chest. So you're going to breathe in at the front, breathing out as you twist, breathing in at the front, and breathing out as you twist. Everything's moving as one, hands stay in line with your chest, head stays in line with your hands, so everything's moving as one. No heads going off to the side, everything is in line with each other. Tummy squeezed in, pelvic floor's lifted nice and smooth. Do it as small as you need to. Keep the tummy squeezed in. At some point, swap legs around to the right way. Much better. Shoulders. Very, very easy for them to creep up without you noticing. And and I can't see that, so I'll have to trust you that you're not doing that. Shoulders relaxed, tummy squeezed in. It's all lovely. Good, see, there was an easy one. However, normally when there's an easy one, it's because there's a really hard one coming next, but I promise there isn't. It's all quite basic today, for now anyway. I'll put harder ones on later. Lovely. And roll-ups. Yes. Okay, I didn't get a band out just because I thought, well, not everybody's got bands. If you've got a band, you can use the band, of course, wrap it around your feet. But I'm going to do it without a band, assuming that most people won't have a band. So, sitting up nice and tall. Breathing in as you breathe out, tucking your bottom under, squeezing the tummy in. I'm going to just do tiny ones, nice deep breath there, and breathing it out as you come back up. Tucking under, squeezing the tummy in. Nice deep breath, and coming back up. So obviously if you struggle with roll-ups, it's a little bit harder without a band, as you know. Sorry about that. There we go, just do little ones. So of course you can do a little twist with your arm. It's all rather beautiful. Pelvic floor's lifted, tummy squeezed in. Sitting up nice and tall. You could also do arms going up, of course, a bit harder. Oh, it's quite hard. You could do arms going out. If you've got a band, you could be doing your lovely triceps, which we all love. If you haven't got a band. I think I'll do, later I'll do some with weights, and if you don't have weights, you could use water bottles or tins of beans, if you can get hold of tins of beans in this day and age. Who knows? You could also do circles, of course. Excuse the squeaky floor. You could go down in the middle and up at the side, down in the middle and up at the side, or you could go down at the side and up in the middle. Down the side. It's all very, very exciting, isn't it? Or if you're feeling particularly clever, you can go all the way down, holding the arms if you wish to, and all the way up. Nice deep breath at the bottom, squeeze the tummy in. Oh, I'm going to balance, and it's a little bit of a struggle. Use the arms to help you if you need to. If you can't get up, then don't go all the way down. Just go most of the way down. That's not brilliant. Okay, that's your roll-ups. Rather lovely. You can do a little stretch if you need to. So, this one is not necessarily for everyone, but I'm going to add it in just in case some of you want to do it. I know you will. Probably if you've got a mat, I don't know how comfortable people's carpets are, whether you want to do this or not. Anyway, rolling. So, squeezing the tummy in, you're going to breathe in as you roll, and breathe out as you come back up. So tucking under, trying to curl the back beautifully so it doesn't thud down, and thud back up again, more importantly. And then sitting up nice and tall. You don't have to do the balance. If you can't do the balance, just come back up. Put your foot back down, but if you can, you can also hold on to your legs wherever is comfortable for you. It doesn't really matter, whatever works for you. Tucking under, squeezing the tummy in. It's all rather beautiful, isn't it? Lovely. Okay. I'm not going to do anything more complicated than this today. Another time, maybe. So then you've got your balance. If you can't straighten your legs, you can do it with your knees bent, that's fine. If you can straighten your legs, and if you can let go, good, if you can let go, arms behind you, breathing, squeezing the tummy in. Lovely. Wonderful. Okay, we're nearly there. This has probably been pretty quick because I've cracked on with it, so obviously if you want to do more of anything you can pause it and do more if it feels like it's not hard enough for you, but that's pretty much it, which is the length, you know, the amount of exercises that we would normally do in class. So I'm going to do chest opener. I've got a block, you can of course use a pillow, and I know I keep nagging everybody, but do these at home anyway. You can do them in bed. No excuse, even with doggies and pussycats. So your block is your pillow, your knees are up nice and high, your hips are stacked, your shoulders are stacked, your tummy squeezed in, and your hips are staying still, of course, they're not rolling over. So you're breathing in. As you breathe out, opening up as far as is comfortable for you. Nice deep breath there. Breathing out as you come back round. So make sure that your knees are still. If you see one knee lifting up, that will mean that your hips are rolling, so don't let that happen. Keep your knees pinned down, keep your hips nice and stacked, and of course it doesn't matter if your arm doesn't go all the way over, whatever works for you. Head's following round, ribs following round, tummy squeezed in, but it should be nice and smooth and relaxing. And everybody loves a chest opener because you know it's nearly the end of the class. Hooray! Well done. Okay. I'm not going to do loads and loads of these, I'll just do some on the other side, but obviously you can do more as you wish. Just do one more. Marvellous. You can do loads more of those if you want. I'll just do some on the other side. And then we're going to do a little stretch. Hips stacked, tummy squeezed in, knees nice and high. Breathing in as you breathe out, opening up the chest, not letting the hips move. Keeping that metal pole digging through you, through your hips and pinning you to the floor, so you're not letting them roll. Nice deep breathing. It's so lovely. You're nearly there. Wonderful. Hopefully you're feeling pleased with yourself that you've got through this. Okay. So, I'm going to do a stretch. When I do the next one, I'll do a relax, and then what I might do is some separate ones with stretches and relaxes, but for now, I'm just going to do a stretch. So I'm doing a stretch without a band, assuming that you haven't got a band. If you've got a band and you want to use it, feel free. I'm just going to do a normal one without. So, lying down, you've got your right foot up, hold onto your leg wherever you can, doesn't matter where it is. But keep that leg nice and straight. So if it's down here to make it straight, that's fine. If it's up here, that's fine. Nice deep breathing, legs nice and straight, bring it in as close towards you as you can without letting it bend or shake. And hold on to it, and let's point and flex. Ooh. Point and flex. And point and flex. And make sure that you're breathing. Keep it in nice and tight, but try to keep it straight. You can twist the foot inwards and breathe nice and deeply. And twist it out and breathe. And straighten it up. So then, yeah, I'm not going to do the one over there because I haven't got the band. I'll do a different one. So we'll swap legs. So left leg, nice and straight, bring it in as close towards you as you can, keeping it straight. Doesn't matter if it's down there. I'd rather it was down there and straight. I'm up here and bent. And you are going to point and flex and point and flex, point and flex. Make sure that you're breathing. You're going to turn the foot inwards and breathe. And twist it out the other way and breathe. Lovely. And relax it back down. So, feet and knees together, and then let the knees fall out to stretch out the inner thighs. Nice deep breathing. Squeeze the tummy in, bring them back together. I'm going to do a hip drop, arms out to the side, squeeze the tummy in, knees are going over to the side. Hips allowed to move, but your shoulders and your shoulder blades staying flat on the floor. Keep the tummy squeezed in and make sure that you're breathing. Squeeze the tummy in to go back up. And then the other way. Nice deep breath. Shoulders nice and relaxed. Nice deep breathing. Wonderful. And squeeze the tummy to come back. Okay. Cross your right leg over your left leg. If you can manage it, tuck your foot behind your ankle, but if you can't, don't worry, you can just stay there. Tummy is squeezed in. You are going over to the left. Make sure that you're breathing. You are not too bothered about your shoulder. You can just let everything go over that, so as far as is comfortable for you. If you're all right, turn your head to the right, so you've got to stretch all the way down your spine. Obviously, come back out of it if it's too much for you, but do make sure that your tummy's squeezed in and you are breathing. Squeeze the tummy in to come back and cross the legs, and cross the left leg over the right leg. Tuck the foot behind if you can, but don't worry if you can't. Squeeze the tummy in as your legs go over to the right, and you can turn your head to look to the left. A lovely stretch all the way down the spine. Nice deep breathing, keeping the tummy squeezed in. Squeeze the tummy to come back and uncross. So I'm just going to finish off with a lovely cat stretch and we'll be done. Okay, I'm just going to do a cat stretch to finish. So hands are underneath your shoulders, knees are underneath your hips, nice neutral position. Breathing in as you breathe out, tucking the bottom under, curling up the spine, tucking the head under, so you're in a lovely arched cat stretch. Nice deep breath there. Breathing out as you relax back to neutral. So I'm going to do one more of those, tucking the bottom under, curling up the spine, lovely arched cat, and relaxing back. And then breathing in as you breathe out, you're going to hinge back, keeping your bottom sticking out, hinging back towards your feet. Once you're there, nice deep breath as you're breathing out, tucking the bottom under, so you're in a little cat stretch at the back, so you can really feel stretch down the bottom of your spine. Breathe in as you breathe out, hinging back to neutral. One more of those, so hinging back, keeping your bottom sticking out, sitting on your feet if that's comfortable, tucking the bottom under to get that lovely stretch at the bottom, and then hinging back again. And then the big one, breathing in as you breathe out, tucking under, curling up the spine into your lovely arched cat stretch. Breathe in as you breathe out, you're hinging back, keeping the bottom tucked under as far back as is comfortable for you. Just reach your arms forward if it's comfortable. Take your arms over to the left with your right hand on top. Breathe. And then take your hands to the right with your left hand on top and breathe. Back to the middle. And we are done. So thank you so much for watching this. I definitely will be doing more of this. We'll see how we go. I'm just learning, so hopefully it was okay. And let's all keep in touch. Thank you.